Hello, this is Mrs. Rodriguez, your math teacher. This video is a review for the Chapter 6 test that's coming up very soon. So these problems are from a practice test that can be found in your textbook. And then I also may have put in some additional problems that will also be on the test, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so like I said, this is Chapter 6 test review, and this practice test can be found on page 327 of your textbook. Okay, so first couple lessons in Chapter 6 are about ratios and rates. So recall that a ratio is a comparison of numbers by division, and a unit rate is a simplified rate whose denominator is 1. Okay? All right, so problem number 1 is about zoos. It says the table shows how many of each type of animal are at a zoo. Express each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. Okay, so for this one here, it says to compare birds to mammals. So we've got 10 birds and 25 mammals. Okay, so 10 to 25. And we need to have this in simplest form. So a common factor between 10 and 25 is 5. So I'm going to divide 10 by 5, and that's 2, and 25 by 5, that's 5. So my fraction in simplest form is 2/5. Okay? All right. And there's a part B to problem number 1. Now it's asking you to compare reptiles to animals, to all the animals, okay? So for reptiles, there are 8 reptiles, and then for all the animals, you would have to add all of these together, 25 mammals, 10 birds, plus the 8 reptiles, and then the 5 arthropods. Okay, so this would be 8 as your numerator, and when you add everything together, you end up with 48. So there's a common factor of 8 between 8 and 48. 8 divided by 8 is 1, and 48 divided by 8 is 6. So our fraction in simplest form is 1/6. Okay. All right, next problem. It says express each rate as a unit rate. Okay, remember this one, we have to have the denominator equal to 1. So we have 300 words and 5 minutes. So we want to know in 1 minute. So you divide by 5, right? 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 300 divided by 5 would be 60, and then 5 divided by 5 is 1. So our unit rate would be 60 words per minute. Okay, that's how we would write the unit rate. All right, and problem number 4 says, again, we're writing this as a unit rate. Which bottle of water costs more per ounce? A 12-ounce bottle for $1.25 or a 16-ounce bottle for $1.50, and it says to explain. So we have to figure out the unit rate for each of these, okay? So for the first one, $1.25 for 12 ounces, okay? We would divide both the numerator and the denominator by 12, because remember, we want the denominator to be 1. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So we end up getting 10 cents, okay? All right, and then for the 16-ounce bottle, for $1.50, you would take $1.50 and divide it by 16 ounces, okay? So we're dividing by 16 to get a numerator of 1. When we do that, we end up getting 9 cents. So the question was, which bottle of water costs more? Well, obviously the 10 cents one costs more. So the 12-ounce bottle for $1.25 costs more. So again, we have to find the unit rate for each of these and then compare them, okay? All right. Okay, so for number 5, it says complete each conversion round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we've got 15 feet is equal to how many meters? Okay, well, we know that 1 foot is equal to 305 thousandths meters. Okay, so now we have a proportion. We can cross multiply. We would do 15 times 305 thousandths, okay? And m times 1, so that's just 1m. And when we multiply, we end up with 4 and 575 thousandths, but it says to round to the nearest hundredth, okay? So m is approximately equal to, we have a 7 in the hundredths place, so we look to the thousandths place and there's a 5. So 5 or more, we round up. 4 or less, it stays the same. So we're going to round that 7 up to an 8. Okay, so it's about 4 and 58 hundredths meters. Okay. All right, let's look at the next problem. Next set of problems is about proportions. So a proportion is an equation stating two ratios or rates are equal. So if A over B is equal to C over D, then if you multiply A times D, it's going to equal B times C. Okay. A proportional relationship exists when the ratios of related terms are equal. Okay. All right, so let's look at a couple of these. It says the taxi cab company charges a $2 fee plus $1.10 for each mile driven. Complete the table and determine whether the patterns form a proportion. Explain. Okay, so that means for 1 mile driven, it's $2 plus $1.10 times 1 mile, right? So that's going to be 2 plus $1.10, which is $3.10. Okay, so we would put $3.10. And then if we have 2 miles, we'd multiply $1.10 times 2. So that'd be 2 plus $2.20, which would be $4.20. Okay, and then for 3 miles, same thing, 2 plus $3.30 for a total of $5.30. And then for 4 miles, this would be 2 plus $4.40, which would be a total of $6.40. And then for 5 miles, 2 plus $1.10 times 5, 2 plus $5.50 for a total of $7.50. Okay, now we have to determine if this is proportional. Okay, so it does increase by $1.10. Okay, but when we take, let's say we took 1 over $3.10, if that's equal to 2 over $4.20, do we end up with a true statement? 1 times $4.20 would be $4.20, and $3.10 times 2 would be $6.20. These are not equal, so it is not proportional. Okay, so no, the rates are not equal. Okay. All right. Let's look at problem number 10. Says Jan bought an 8-ounce fruit drink for $1.50. Write and solve a proportion that could be used to find the cost of a gallon of fruit drink. And it gives you a hint. 1 gallon is 120 ounces. Okay, so we've got 8 ounces for $1.50. So we're comparing ounces to the amount of money. Okay, and we know that 1 gallon is 128 ounces. So we've got 128 ounces up here, and we want to know the dollar amount. So that would be X. So that's our proportion. Okay, we've got ounces on top, and then the dollar amount as our numerator. So then we're going to cross multiply. So we've got 8X and $1.50 times 128 ounces is 192. And we've got a one-step equation, so we divide here both sides by 8. So X is equal to $24. Okay. All right. Next problem here. Our next section is about scale drawings and models. So a scale drawing or a model represents an object that is too large or too small to be drawn or built at actual size. Okay. And the ratio of a length on a scale drawing or model to the corresponding length on the real object is the scale. Okay. All right. So the first problem in this section says a scale drawing of a house that is 12 meters tall is being drawn with a scale of 2 centimeters is equal to 3 meters. How many centimeters tall is the scale drawing? Okay, so we've got 2 centimeters is equal to 3 meters. We want to know if we've got 12 meters, so that's our denominator, meters are in the denominator. We want to know how many centimeters that's going to be. So we're going to cross multiply. 3 times x is 3x. And then 2 times 12 is 24. We've got a one-step equation. Divide both sides by 3. So x is equal to 8. And this is centimeters. Okay. So on the drawing, the house is going to be 8 centimeters tall. Okay. In real life, the house is 12 meters tall. Okay. All right. Last section, I believe, is about similar figures and dilations. If two figures are similar, then the corresponding angles are congruent and the corresponding sides are proportional. So this gets a little bit into geometry. Okay. And then it says a dilation with a scale factor of k is greater than 1 will result in an enlargement. So if the scale factor is greater than 1, you're going to get something larger. If it's greater than 0 and less than 1, it will result in a reduction. Okay. And then if k is equal to 1, it will result in the same figure. Okay. All right. So let's look at problem number 13. It says the figures are similar. Find the missing measure. So here is the missing measure. Okay. So we know this side here and this side here are the same or similar. And then this side here and this side here are similar. So I'm going to put this as my first ratio, this top side over this right side. So 8 inches over x. And then over here, I'm going to put the top side, 12 inches over the right side, which is 9 inches. Okay. So I cross multiply. So I've got x times 12 is 12x, and 8 times 9, which is 72. divide both sides by 12, and x is equal to 6, and these are inches. Okay? All right. Next problem, number 14, says triangle KLM is shown. Graph the image of the triangle after a dilation centered at the origin with a scale factor of 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is find the coordinates of each of these points. Okay, so for point K, that's this point here is to the right 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be, the coordinates are 2, 5, okay? And then for L, over here, this is over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 2. So that's 4, 2. And then M, is equal to over 2, up 2. So that's 2, 2. Okay? Now, we have a scale factor of 2. Okay, so this is going to be an enlargement. So I'm going to multiply each one of the x and y values by 2. Okay? So now if I multiply 2 by 2, that's 4. 5 times 2 is 10. And over here, 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And then 2 times 2, 2 times 2, sorry about that. Okay, so this should be 2 times 2 is 4, and then 2 times 2 is 4. So now these are our new coordinates. So I'm going to plot these points. Okay, so 4, 10, so I would go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. So that'd be about here. And then 8, 4, so I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, so that's this side here. And then 4, 4, so to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then this is like that. Okay, so there I have my new triangle there. All right, so now I have a multiple choice problem here for number 15. It says triangle DEF has these vertices. Which of the following gives the vertices of triangle DEF after dilation of 1/2? Okay, so this is actually going to be smaller, right? So I'm going to take half of each of these. Okay, so I've got D is 4/16. Well, now I'm going to take half of those. So I'm going to divide each one by 2. So half of 4 is 2, and half of 16 is 8. Okay, then for E, it's 12 and negative 12. Half of 12 is 6, and half of negative 12 is negative 6. And then F is 4 and negative 8. So half of 4 is 2, and half of negative 8 is negative 4. Okay, so which one of these has those points? 2, 8, 6, negative 6, and 2 and negative 4, which is H. Okay. And then last problem, it says in the map of field games, the triangles are similar. How far is the walk from gone fishing over here to cakewalk right here? So we want to know this distance here. We'll call it X. Okay. All right. So and it tells us these are similar triangles, right? Okay, so we want to know this side, and we know this side here of the triangle. So this is the hypotenuse and the shortest leg, okay? So I have the hypotenuse and then the shortest leg. Those are the two I'm comparing. So this triangle, the hypotenuse is this side right here. So that's 10 yards. And then the shortest side is going to be this side here. So this would be 6 yards. Okay, so then I would cross multiply. X times 10 is 10x, and then 5 times 6 is 30. A one-step equation, I'm going to divide both sides by 10. So x is equal to 3 yards. Okay, so going fishing is 3 yards away from cakewalk. Okay, all right. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. Please call, text, or email me or stop by my office hours if you have any questions about any of these problems or about the test or anything or any other lessons or anything like that. Okay? You have a great day.